Oh, see, well.
Vodka, apple juice.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's not that bad. It's not that bad.
I only have to go to the gym after this.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, hey, you're going to have a badass pump when you leave here, bro. Cheers, motherfuckers. What?
Cheers.
Hang on, wait. You got to do the whole intros and shit, right?
Well, I can do
Did you already
whatever.
do it?
It's fucking 50th episode. It's fine.
Why don't you just hit it?
Wrastlin with music and life for life.
Wrastlin
Let's go.
Life, episode 50. We made it, which is insane. And the three amigos are back. And we're going to raise our glass to that. And I just say, cheers, brothers.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, man.
Everybody knows her name.
Oh, yeah, that was stiff. Unless mine was.
Whoa.
Yours were.
Was that a splash of apple juice?
A little
Holy cow.
Good thing I'm driving. Anyway.
I have to only walk to my backyard.
not bad vodka though. Smooth.
No, it was
it's
smooth,
absolute.
yeah.
It's absolute vodka. So,
I don't.
Now coffee.
wow. Well, and again, you know, that's some good ass coffee too, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get you going and tell some stories here because I know that you guys have had
man.
a lot going on. I have
I think
had
so.
a lot of life going on, not necessarily wrestling or music.
Are you wrestling with it?
Man, I've been wrestling about the word wrestling. Instead of wrestling, maybe we just say wrestling.
I've been doing
Have
a
you guys
lot.
been thinking that?
Actually,
You know
I bought
how
these
I know
sandals yesterday.
Yeah.
That's what I've been doing.
Oh, nice. Nice to get them on the camera.
My green socks.
Nice.
I'm bringing them back.
He's getting fucking
Yeah,
rich.
dude. Let's go.
That pit lord money. He's getting new shoes. I get it.
I just buy shoes on clearance.
Dude, I don't blame you.
Although I did just get a custom pair of Nikes, so I'm pretty stoked about it.
So, all right,
yeah.
I looked on fucking Amazon for like retro high tops, and the ones I got were like $45, and then like 2 months later, $95. Like, what the fuck happened?
shit.
Dude, go to fucking Encore at the mall. Like the shoot apart.
Yeah.
They have shit like that all the time. That's where I got my champions that look dope.
Do they have Pack a Change Park still, or is that?
Yeah, if only, bro.
Yeah, it's still there.
Only.
It's still there. You just got to go to the back room's bathroom.
Oh, nice.
All the way in the back of the mall, and that's where Pocket Change Park is now. Go change your pockets in the bathroom.
Sounds like somebody with the last name Kruger would be the bathroom attendant.
Funny that you brought that up though, because
hey, is everything working for you guys?
Funny you brought up Pocket Change Park though, because there was a game at Pocket Change Park. It was the Aerosmith game. Did you ever play that?
No, I don't think I
was
will.
It was a light gun game, so you had guns on sticks that you held onto, and you shot like little CDs as like your special.
Yes, I do remember this.
So they have it at fucking Galloping Ghost Arcade in Chicago.
What
in
the
Brookfield.
fuck?
It's
Holy
the
shit.
same cabinet.
No shit.
It's literally just because there's only so many of those. And Galloping Ghost, the biggest arcade in the fucking world. It's amazing. If you're in Brookfield, next time you're in Chicago, go to Galloping Ghost. It's $20 for the entire day for 5,000 square foot of arcade games.
$20? That's it?
$20. There's a whole other building of just pinball that's like 10 extra bucks. And that gives you all day. You just show them your receipt and go back in. And
holy fuck,
and it's all
dude.
push button.
That's rad.
Dude, it's all push button start, so you don't have to like
put the coins in or whatever,
just hit a button.
Oh,
it's
dude.
amazing. There are so many games there. They have an entire row of like fighting games, an entire row of racing games.
Nice.
Fucking, it's insane.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
I would say, actually, just if we're on that topic, one of my favorite restaurants, Central Standard, just because it's everything I've ever had. It's amazing.
Is that around?
They have arcades on the other side.
Is that behind?
Yeah.
Is it here?
Yeah.
I'm so far behind.
Yeah, it's
it's
over
in
in Bettendorf, like off of 50. Well, on 53rd.
It's on 53rd, yeah.
You're just going into Bettendorf. It's by like what's that brewery?
Five Cities.
5 Cities.
Oh wait! Did we go there
We've
before?
been there, bro.
Yeah, I thought
many
so. Like, all
times,
right,
man.
sorry.
Everything's in a
They
little
got awesome
basket.
booths, and you know it's a good place for kids because now they have arcades on the other side.
Yeah, that's
and
new.
they have a fucking Jurassic Park one that's pretty dope.
Fucking Emily won out of the claw machine there twice in a row. I was like, I fucking love
So last time we were there, some really awesome.
It's like how twice in a row.
Twice in a fucking row.
That's like some magic, bro.
Yeah.
No, you guys should have went to the fucking casino, be like, let's gamble. Come on, let's go.
Some little girl just walked up to Leo and was just like, hey, I just won this. And it was like this big ass, whatever it was. I don't know, like a tiger or something. I'm like, really? Are you sure? She's like, yeah, I don't need it. I'm like, oh, you must be from
She gave it to him?
Because if I fucking won that, I can need it. I fucking Bettendorf.
It's mine. It's mine.
I'm sleeping with that tiger.
I have been
free.
I have been in a buying stupid shit mode the last couple of months, so I understand that.
Yeah, no, it just hits us all at once. Sometimes you're just like, you see something like, oh yeah, and then you get it, and then you look at your bank account. I'm like, what am I doing? Why the fuck?
I've been looking at mine and going, sell! What kind of economy is this shit?
I go thrifting a lot. We went earlier today, but I found this shirt just the other day, and it just says Chicago on the front.
Nice.
On the back, it's got like the Sistine Chapel, like the fingers touching, and it says established in 1898, the third largest city in the world, Chicago. And then on the bottom, it says established 1898, third largest city in Chicago. It's like the most retarded shit I find.
I think the band Chicago.
No, just the city.
You know,
there's
just the city.
merch.
Name a hit from the band Chicago right now.
I don't know.
Name what?
Chicago.
A hit from the band
hit?
Chicago.
Yeah. All right. Well, you won.
It seems like, what the fuck?
won the
Hang on now.
Anyway, speaking of the game, Triple H, he's in here right now.
Yeah, I wish.
Shug
I wish. Fucking A.
You've been fucking wrestling. You've been wrestling a lot.
Dude.
And we haven't had a podcast for quite some time.
I'm going to let you go.
We can
try to remember all of the
cool
shows.
stories.
I just got, I'll run down some storylines that I'm in for certain companies I'm working for. SCW, this is actually one of my favorite storylines I've ever been in, like in my entire career at this point. I have to play a babyface while being stuck in a group with heels because they can erase everything I've ever done for a company.
Nice.
Like just destroy it. Like it's as if I never existed for that company. So
Ministry of Darkness stuff.
yeah,
shit.
like or like they just Benoit my whole career.
Or Vince McMahon. Either one.
Vince McMahon, yes.
Yeah.
So like, so it's one of those things where I get to do like really special things, like where I have to listen to this guy tell me to do things. Like, all right, so we did my entrance. I come out to District of Misery by Oceano. Music stops. Their music hits, and he comes out. He's like, take that mask off. Take that jacket off. We get in the ring. He's like, takes all this. I'm like, take all that off. Take all of this. And he throws his T-shirt at me. And it hits me in the chest, hits the ground. And he goes, pick it up and put it on. And it's his T-shirt with his name on it.
Nice.
I'm like, dude, this is fucking money. Let's go. So at the match, like, I'm like trying to be the good guy.
Yeah.
So I think that it's funny and like also hilarious that, you know, sometimes you see wrestlers call shit. Like, catch this. But as a babyface trying to be the heel, I'm looking down at this babyface and my guy's telling me to stomp him. I go, catch this so that everyone can see me do it. And then I smile when he catches it. I'm like, I didn't want to stomp him when he's down.
Right.
Why would I do that? I'm not a piece of shit for this company anyway.
That's a really funny thing. Is like, you be a face in another
dude,
company. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, but like the angle is fucking fun, and yeah, it's just rad. So I'm stuck in this group that I don't want to be in.
Yeah, it's like the religious one, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Like, and then funny thing is, like, I wore a pentagram belt and then like a fucking satanic shirt. It's supposed to be a PG show. Didn't even know until a week later there were two demons on the bottom of my shirt with their tits out, boobs, everything. Didn't even fucking know till a week later.
Wow.
I'm sure that really bothered the wrestling crowd. I'm sure they were like,
But like, here's the real story of what I wanted to do that was kiboshed because Nick was like, dude, I think we'll offend people.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have seen Late Night with the Devil yet, which was fucking amazing.
I still need to watch it, but I watched like a retrospective on it. That was really interesting.
Oh, dude, it's fucking awesome. Anyway, it's just like, you know, being possessed or whatever. Okay. So I was going to come out to, Madonna, like a prayer, with the priest costume on. And then was going to pretend like I was being possessed. And then it kicks into fucking District of Misery. And I'm like, and then I turn around and I put my mask on and I'm a fucking demon. And Nick was like, I don't think we could do that here in, Bluegrass, Iowa.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, okay.
I don't know. Bluegrass is pretty satanic.
I've done some shit. I've done some shit in bluegrass.
Is the fucking grass supposed to be green, you idiots? That's pretty satanic to call it blue.
I drove around with Damian Birch in my fucking trunk that was also filled with broken glass. And he rolled around in a bunch of broken glass.
Oh, shit.
I'm tearing around bluegrass in my old Buick.
Oh, the Dame.
So that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So like basically it was just me coming out to the ring and then wearing my satanic looking shirt and my belt or whatever. But yeah, that was cool. But last night, because AEW doesn't give a fuck. There are no kids. I can say, do whatever the fuck I want. Our promos going into it, we had a match where I was in a multi-man match with one lady. And at the end of the match, before the show, Danny was like, I need you to get heat. And I'm like, here we go. Here it comes. I need you to beat the shit out of Heather. Let's go.
Nice. Nice.
So at the end of the match, I jump her and then drop her on her fucking head. And I go, this is what happens when you fuck with the Shug. And I brain busted her. So I cut this promo at the end of it. And me, the grizzled vet, my fucking face is on the wall, all this shit. And I'm dealing with these fucking children and little girls.
Wow.
I'm fucking done with it.
Yeah.
And she cuts her promo, and hers was way more vulgar than mine. There was way more bleeped out stuff you want to be a piece of fucking shit? Jumping from behind? I'll make you eat shit, you fucking pussy. And it was all bleeped. I'm like, I had to figure it out. Why mine wasn't bleeped? Well, why'd they bleep the lady?
Oh, she was really reckless. She was really reckless.
Women can't swear.
Yeah, apparently. But it was awesome. And then we had our match, and it was last night. I said, fuck it. You know what? I'm going to put on this whole gimmick. I wrestled in a button-up fucking black shirt, red fucking belt with pentagram, and a red tie like I was a demon. But then I put on a priest costume over the top of it and wore my Slaughter to Prevail mask looking like a fucking demon. And Danny walks up to me when I'm standing there, and he goes, what is this? And then he was like, what are you wearing underneath that? And I lifted it up, and he goes, I fucking love it. I was like, here we go. Now I'm stuck wearing that. There's so much shit I have on. More shit that I show up in the building in.
Nice.
But yeah, it was over. It was fun. And we had this badass cutoff where I caught her, wheelbarrowed her into the fucking guardrail.
Yeah.
And she wanted me to do it multiple times, but as soon as I hit the first guardrail, I was like, I don't know if I just hurt her. I have no fucking clue if that hurt her or not, so I just let her go.
Nice.
And then, but yeah, it fucking was awesome.
Was that the clip? Was that?
I sent you the clip of her doing a Canadian destroyer to me because she's so fucking tiny.
Yeah.
Her feet didn't even hit the ground. She just jumped off the middle rope and it's like, here we go.
Looked really solid.
Dude, it looked fucking awesome. And we didn't get a chance to, obviously you can't practice that shit. You kind of just feel it, And she's so tiny that it just worked.
Is she the girl that was going out with somebody?
She was kind of seeing Conan Lycan for a little bit.
I didn't know if that was okay.
She's actually moving to Tampa, and I hope nothing but the best for her.
NXT, or
I'm hoping. Well, she doesn't know, but if you're already there and you're that fucking, because first off, Jamie, you should be on fucking TV right now. You're super fucking good. Just keep pushing forward. But anyways, she's awesome. She's super fucking good. And no, I just wish nothing but the best for her. And that match we had, we went 4 minutes under time because the referee was 2 minutes. I'm like, 2 minutes left? What the fuck? What do you mean? How the fuck's that work? But he was telling us we were 2 minutes in. Who the fuck does that? But it's okay. So we went 4 minutes under time, told our story with 4 minutes to spare. And it was just fucking, it was really good. Just really good.
Nice.
Just fucking, it was solid. Oh, dude. You fucking touch a woman in pro wrestling, they go fucking nuts. And when I threw her into the guardrail, one dude was like, that's a woman. I go, I know. No shit! There's no dick when I gave her the wheelbarrow.
I'm not going to hurt you. I'm
just gonna bash your fucking brains in.
I'm going to bash you right the fuck in.
But yeah, no, that was fucking awesome. So that was a good send off. I got lots of heat, and then going into AEW now, like I'm just a fucking heat magnet and just looking like a demon. I might start doing weird shit like weird face paint and fucking trying to practice wearing like the all blackout like contacts. But what I've heard is like you can barely see. You've done it?
No, but anything like that. That's especially when it needs to cover the iris
everything.
Too.
Yeah,
I don't even like you just doing that.
All I've ever heard is that it's super painful. Like,
painful, and then you can't fucking see.
Yeah.
So. Maybe I'll just do promos with it, like where I blink and then like fucking all blackout, like demon shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you'd be able to notice it. That I feel like in the ring, it wouldn't be as apparent. Like at times,
that's true.
Maybe,
well,
but
that's true.
Promos,
like an actual
a promo, definitely
a promo for sure
for contacts and stuff, and then you just get that from that, right? I could be wrong. Maybe.
Say what?
You get like a prescription and say like, hey, I need like.
But
contacts and
but I've also heard the all blackout ones, like what Lyndon was saying, is like it just like it blocks everything.
Yeah,
like you can't really see your peripherals all fucked up and everything. And I'm like, damn it, dude, be great with it was the guy who plays Hellraiser. Was it?
Well, I was thinking of Jimmy, the big black guy that fucking used to have one white one and one blue one.
Yeah, I know.
Man, I'd be like, dude, doesn't that suck?
All I've ever heard is they use those in movies a lot of times, and even the ones they use for special effects are like hard on you.
Oh, yeah.
So like trying to like be in the ring and do that, like I'm like, I might just do it with promos. I probably will.
I think that would be cool because that'd be the most effective. Yeah. In the ring, you're not gonna see.
Because in the ring, like from a distance, you can't tell if my fucking eyes are brown or black.
You would probably see all white.
Yeah, that'd be fucking rough.
That would be more obvious. Yeah. But like blacks, if you're an average distance of like 15 to 20 feet away from where you're standing. Yeah. Because I wanted to do that for on stage years and years and years ago.
Oh, that'd be
then the point everybody always made, for one, my eyes are all usually pretty like, like so
your fucking head.
So
he doesn't look high or anything.
No, and then just the pain element and stuff. And there's already enough problems that can go during our set that I'm just like.
I was gonna say,
there's a lot going on,
moving parts.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's the best way to say. And speaking of Satan. Let's transition to Pit Lord.
Let's go.
I don't even know where,
dude. You like there's so much. Like you're just as much as me,
bro.
I've only like done a little bit.
Bands. Put them over, Yeah. You just put over.
Wait. Heather Reckless.
Heather Reckless.
Yep.
And she'll be NXT bound.
I'm hoping she should be in fucking TV already right now. She's so good.
Hell yeah.
Just saying.
I guarantee you guys at home, you're going to know every band he's going to mention, okay? And they're going to be on Epic Records within the year, if that even exists. Anyway, go ahead.
Is that still new?
I don't even know. The Epic was, I don't remember. They were like a owned by some bigger label, I'm pretty sure, but
probably.
No, John, we're playing with Drowning Pool.
Yeah, that was the one I was going to bring up. Dude, like you made the joke, like we did it. The biggest band we were.
Like
there was a lot of good comments on that.
That was really funny.
The brisket hit the floor was good. Yeah. I like that one. That was pretty good.
Well, everybody thought we were joking at first because I
did not.
They announced the show before they even asked us if we wanted to do it, and it was the radio station that asked. And then so Dan texts me, and I was like, we thought about it for a total of like 2 minutes, and said yes. And
I mean, you're gonna play in front of fucking like a bunch of new metal people, and they're gonna be like, I don't understand what's going on, but like maybe there could be like,
they're gonna love them.
Yeah, I think so too.
They're gonna be like, holy fuck, this is different.
I think so. I think so too.
You guys have a different act, Me and Derek were talking about this yesterday. He had a party,
right. Yeah.
And I was literally saying like, because he had what was it? He played with Cryptopsy.
Cryptopsy, yeah.
And by the way, Derek, I seen his video. They sounded fucking phenomenal.
Dan said they sounded really good
shit.
too. It wasn't
and they had a big
Wildwood
pit too.
Wildwood, correct?
Wildwood.
Well, Wildwood can sound like shit.
Sometimes, yes.
No,
depending if a certain person is running sound.
But I have definitely seen
there's
videos.
a certain person that runs sound over there occasionally.
Well, it also doesn't hurt that the camera was in the sweet spot for sure. Like it was in the middle.
Yeah, but sometimes the camera in the sweet spot, like with that place, it's still got to sound good. Like whoever's doing sound.
Well, let's not get off the beaten path. So what I was saying though is there's a band on there that had programmed drums.
Empty Graves.
And Derek wasn't talking shit. He was just like a lot of people kind of just weren't into it, and the crowd kind of just went out and like, okay, there's people playing, but there's no drummer.
Yeah.
And for you, it actually works though. It's
always,
weird
every time.
Yeah, like because Alicia was always like, well, you could just do programmed drums and just have you up there with like 2 other musicians. I'm like, no, like it just doesn't work for the serious shit.
I mean,
when I say serious, I just mean obviously there's a comedy to it. Like you're literally
well, there's a gimmick. There's a gimmick.
There's a gimmick.
And
you guys are both comedy
Empty
people.
Graves, one thing I can say is I have seen Empty Graves. We played with them a couple of times, and I've seen other shows that they've played, especially at Wildwood.
Yeah.
And there have been plenty of times where they played for like a packed house and crushed it at Wildwood.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell you what. I would assume that they may not have fit in well with the rest of the show overall, because they can go and they opened for some deathcore band, I think like Enterprise Earth or something, and that room was packed when they played.
Nice.
And even
what type of music are they? Because I haven't listened to them yet.
It was deathcore.
Oh,
it was deathcore. I mean, they're fun. They're cool. They're friends of ours. Like it's also times when we played with Bongzilla, I was like, man, this is gonna suck. Like, nobody's gonna care about us playing. And there's actually like a decent amount of people there. Wildwood is a weird place,
dude.
It just depends.
It's all about the fucking advertisement.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm
certain
saying
bands.
if we can get back to what we were saying, because like, we're talking about you playing with Drowning Pool.
Drowning Pool.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
So
makes sense to me though for you as a band to get up there and people are just
definitely.
They're gonna know it.
You're listening. You're like playing to an audience of like us, really, in the long run. Like, you know what I mean? But there were new metal fans our age,
right?
Well, at least our age. You know what I mean?
I mean, we had a show a couple of months ago where I was reminded of how many people in town still don't know us. You know, because you have a handful of successful shows over a couple of years. Handful, more than that,
right?
But you have successful shows in town over the years, and you go, man, everybody in town knows us. And then you play a show, and literally nobody there knows you except for the other bands.
Right.
So, it's.
I mean, you're kind of going outside of your genre.
The biggest reason
going outside your genre.
The biggest reason we took it. The biggest reason we took it is because, to my knowledge, no other local band has played the Rust Belt.
Wow. Yeah, no, you're right.
Play the Rust Belt.
Like, there's so many bands that'll.
I don't know. To my knowledge,
I think you're totally correct, because I've seen concerts there.
Like, I think
where the like Pop Evil played, which I had free tickets to.
Yeah.
And like, I'm like, well, where's the fucking local band that opens up?
I think
nobody.
Yeah. See, it's because those kind of tour packages that go through a place like that are typically like without local openers.
Yeah.
They don't leave. There's no room for that, or they just don't allow it.
I had plenty of calls when we were trying to do some stuff where I call people and they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't do local."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Why not?"
Yeah,
and they're like, "Well, we got 5 bands and that's all we want." I'm like, "You couldn't have a 6?"
Well, I've seen. You see shows where it's like 2 really big bands and literally that's it, or they have an opener with them, but they're not looking for locals. But I just wanted to play the Rust Belt. I mean, we didn't even think about it. Like, and we want to play in front of people we haven't played in front of. I don't care if it's with John.
Well, it also opens the doors, though, for what you just said.
Sure.
Maybe there could be local shows at the Rust Belt.
There won't be.
Because
there won't be.
It's expensive. Like, SCW ran there for a while, and it just got, like, Nick was like, I can't do this. Like, we could... By the way, we would pack that fucking place for SCW, and Nick was like, dude, I'm not even breaking even.
Is there a bar there at the Rust Belt?
Yeah, multiple bars, different areas,
The reason why I think metal, as opposed to pro wrestling, would work, I'm not saying pro wrestling fans don't drink heavily.
They do?
Metal people do. Metal people fucking do.
Yeah.
And if you had a really decent local, and maybe put, like, obviously whatever outside band that's going to obviously bring somebody there.
Yeah.
You know, if you had that, it would work because, dude, they're going to outdrink the house. Like, you got 1,000 metal dudes anywhere.
Yeah.
There's no more bar after like 5 minutes.
There's so many like factors that probably go into that. I don't know, because I mean, we don't play those kind of venues usually. The one we were at in Kentucky, I was too sick and couldn't play. So
let me ask you though, what you're a booker, you booked. Would you book that place?
Rust Belt's expensive.
Would you try to figure it out? I guess.
No.
It's just too much money involved.
There's plenty of places around here that are better suited for that kind of thing.
Raccoon Motel.
Yeah, for sure. Hands down.
Right.
We're playing there's like a one-day festival we're playing at Redstone Room.
Nice.
Later in July, or early in July, I should say. So, you know, and I don't know if it's in the main room or if it's in the hall, but either way, I mean, that's a place still.
Okay. Like the old hall from
the Army Hall. Yep. I think that's where it's happening, but it'd be really way cooler.
That's a decent sized room, though.
Yeah, either one.
Like, it's actually bigger than the main room because the main room has the bar. And
the main room's
shit.
Just nicer.
It is nicer.
I don't know.
You also get to record your shit on video. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it doesn't really do anything. I've played there once or twice. I don't know if
Farley still works there as a sound guy. No, okay, never mind.
He's strictly Skylark. No, that's his game.
And they have shows too. So it's like
Skylark. Yeah. The problem
that's another good venue too.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with Skylark, I shouldn't say it's a problem, but it's an event space.
Yeah.
So if you want to book a show there, you gotta consider paying the rent.
Oh.
You know. So you have to pay to book, you know, and at least go, okay, this is a sure thing, so we know we're expecting. It's just like that kind of thing. It's really hard to plan for when you're talking about booking a local show.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah. Makes sense.
So, but yeah, we're doing Drowning Pool, and that'll be cool. And we have that big Iowa Underground Metal Fest in Cedar Rapids is in August. And that's crazy. That's like the biggest collection of bands from like the region, all the way like Mall from South Dakota is headlining. There's a handful of bands from out of state, but like some bands from Des Moines. There's this band from Des Moines called False Providence that's just like, ooh, like if Hatebreed was death metal.
Fucking nice. All right, so we're definitely going to be jamming that later in the backyard.
Yeah, False Providence. They're fucking awesome. We played with a lot of bands. I don't even know who to talk about. Like, we played with Selenoplexia and Gordon Brace from Chicago. We played with them in Iowa City. They're two of the probably my two favorite bands from Chicago right now, other than Gaunt.
Nice.
There's a lot. We played up in Ypsilanti, Michigan with Crocofile.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. There you
Michigan's fucking crazy.
The Slamining.
Yeah, the Returning. They were awesome. They fucking they had a drummer too for that show.
Oh, no awesome. Shit.
Yeah,
I didn't know they didn't have a drummer.
It's been off and on.
Okay.
Like they were just kind of like I think at some point the drummer was playing guitar or whatever, something like that. But yeah, fucking Michigan, man. What a weird place.
Yeah.
Like you get over the border and there's immediately like 10 dispensaries. Just weed in general is like 40% cheaper because there are there's so much. There's like tax is only like 3%, or it's like 40 here or in Illinois.
Yeah.
So like and we went to a dispensary and this old lady was working there and Dan's looking around and she just goes, "Do you guys have pot in Iowa?" Like yeah,
and every fucking
we can't go to a store to get it, but yeah,
it's not legal. But yeah, we have it. But it was crazy. Like it was one of the first shows in a while where I had to stop smoking weed because it was just like people were opening. No, not. It's not that everything is good everywhere.
Right.
Weed is good everywhere. I don't know. I haven't been to every state, but I mean, it's not like. You go. I haven't been anywhere where everybody's like, "Oh, the weed all sucks here." It's
not like fun. Cocaine, you know.
But it's everybody there had like cigarette holders full of joints. So you go outside and it's just like everybody's smoking joints. And
so it smells like a skunk's just walking around.
Nah, it's probably cleaner. Yeah, so it's like good weed though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was good. It was fun.
Since John Deere hasn't been fucking testing apparently anymore.
Sure.
The fucking parking lot just smells like a fucking just walking around, dude. People are just fucking lighting up as soon as they get there. Like, well, there goes 8 hours.
Yeah. Well, I definitely know a lady from around here who works at a John Deere, and on her way to work, just records herself smoking a fucking J.
Yeah,
just like,
why not?
yeah, it's like, I can do it. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Fucking. But man, let's see. I don't know. Have we done an episode since we were on?
It was just me and you last time. I don't remember when. Probably like a month and a half.
I don't remember either.
Ago.
I don't know. There's a lot. We just had a show this past weekend, or on Friday, which was like took a lot to hold together because it was booked by Bloodletter from Wisconsin, and their manager booked it, and then they had their guitar player, their lead guitar player was in an accident, and his arm's all fucked up.
Oh shit!
Can't play for
damn.
So they had to drop, which means now there is nobody running the show. You know, their manager was going to be, basically the booker running the show. So then we just kind of took it over, and then I had to find a replacement for that for Bloodletter, and then but that only made. At some point, there were only 3 bands, and we were going to keep it like that. Yeah, that's what happened. Last minute, so Frontal Assault was on the show, and those guys have another band called Spewing.
Okay.
And it's essentially everybody in Frontal Assault, but with a drum machine and a second guitar player, and it's just like nasty. Like, it kind of sounds like, I don't know, it sounds like a trash can.
Nice.
But it's awesome. They're awesome. They use that shining clip.
Spewing trash.
Yeah.
Metallica Saint Anger. Like,
I was gonna say,
you know what? It's better.
It's better. Got a literal trash can snare can?
No. Well, I mean, it kind of sounds
I was just
like
kidding.
That.
I was always.
It's like it's that kind of a sample, though. Like, ping,
oh shit!
What in the fuck?
You're just gonna have to hold the whole thing.
Just gotta hold the whole fucking thing the rest of the show. I don't give a shit.
We're doing live.
But
fuck it.
Yeah, and then
we'll do it.
So we had them jump on last minute, and so it was 4 bands, and even like that same night, Body Box was playing in Iowa City. There was a show happening. Cryptopsy was the night before. There was still a bunch of people at the show, though. It was cool.
Yeah.
But all right, yeah, that's. Oh, we're doing stuff. I don't think I have any.
You idiots!
I don't think I have. I don't have any like stories. I can't remember anything,
dude.
I mean, we do an episode like 3 months after anything's happening. I can't remember.
Well, like that's why I only talk about like the most recent shit that I can remember. You know, it's like
I really like the Iowa Underground Metal Fest.
What is the date on that, by the way?
August 3rd.
Okay.
So I'll fucking. I'm sure.
What's the fucking Drowning Pool date?
July 21st.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be out of town, unfortunately.
The end of...
And fortunately for me, because I need a fucking vacation from you.
From you and you! Fest happening in Cedar Rapids. Cedar Rapids at the Olympic Southside Theater, which is probably going to be packed.
Oh, yeah, it will be.
They did this last year with like half as many bands, and it almost sold out. So.
Fucking A, let's go, bro.
So we do have... we have tickets for that. We have tickets for Drowning Pool. We are not required to sell tickets, though.
Which is nice.
Fucking clear.
So I was just thinking of like how like local bands don't play for all these bands that do come through and tour.
Right.
I went to the Attila show, and I was thinking like fucking Lyndon, like Pitlore totally could open. It's like a metal band still, you know what I mean? It's like that same genre, but like...
Yeah, well, those kind of shows that come through, obviously like Cryptopsy is a really good example.
Right.
Those shows are always looking for local people. Like that's... And Wildwood and Gabe's are really good about... The people that book those shows there are really good at finding locals, and they know who to talk to. So that I don't have any complaint about. I mean, that Cryptopsy show, I think, was... all local people, except for Cryptopsy.
Yeah,
because it must have been an off date or something. Yeah, because I don't know what that tour is.
I mean, this is like 7 years ago when I played with them. Just speaking from my experience with Cryptopsy, they're the coolest people I've ever met.
It sounds like it.
And they were so fucking. I mean, obviously, Surreption's not local, but like and Disgorge. But
Disgorge was so fucking good.
Oh, they were so good.
They were so
fucking Roman Reigns.
He does. His name's Angel Ochoa. But
super fucking low, dude.
It's so good. They were one of the
Just
heaviest
ripped the
bands.
shit.
They were one of the heaviest sounding bands I've ever seen.
But those guys just put us over for no reason. I was like, oh fuck. Like Flo was super nice. Obviously, he borrowed triggers from rest in peace Caleb.
Oh, did he?
But yeah, his triggers failed him. So
Caleb was playing on that.
Yeah,
show.
Caleb gave him his triggers so that he could fucking have triggers.
Dude.
But dude, it was like, holy shit, this dude is literally like way too nice.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean,
Like
Sometimes you meet those people you're like not expecting.
they book it all themselves. They don't have a fucking label.
But also
Literally doing it themselves.
you think about those people who are so fucking good at what they do. And you're thinking, you know what? They're not going to give two fucks about what I'm doing.
which does happen.
Yeah, it does.
yeah.
But like, trust me, I've been on shows with the guys who think their shit don't fucking stink. And I'm like, you know what? Okay, I remember that guy's a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
But like, then you'll meet those people like Jerry Lynn.
Yeah.
Who I fucking watched. We watched when we were fucking kids in ECW. And we met him. Nicest dude ever. Sit down, talk fucking metal with him.
Yeah.
It's just like you meet those people, but then you'll meet people who are like you said, Flo. Dude, amazing. He's amazing at what he fucking does, right?
Fucking Sherwood and Skinless.
Yes. Same.
He just tried to get us to go out to New York and play for his buddy's like birthday party that he's throwing.
Fucking awesome.
And he was gonna fly us out and everything. I didn't have the vacation time to make it work.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
But that's still cool. Like he reaches out to you guys.
I have the man's phone number.
That's fucking cool, bro.
Sherwood from Skinless. He's literally in my phone as Sherwood from Skinless. There'd been like a month since we played when we played out in Denver for him.
Nice.
And he just texted me one day. He's like, "I miss you guys."
Dude,
I miss you guys.
think about that.
That's cool.
Like you know what I mean? Like you get to meet people in your life.
I'll tell you
like,
what I was
this
thinking
guy's
about.
my friend now.
I'll tell you what I was thinking about. I was listening to fucking Skinless. What was it? Foreshadowing Our Demise. Walking into West High School for my first day of 10th grade.
Nice.
Like. And now that guy's just kind of like my buddy.
He's your friend.
You know?
He's your fucking friend, bro.
Dan ran it. Dan got to see him, hang out with him at fucking Milwaukee Metal Fest. So like, yeah, it's
wild.
It's,
right?
pretty
it's
cool.
crazy also that Jamie Josta puts that on. That's like his thing.
Sure.
So how did Dan say that was good? Because I follow.
Yeah,
I like the Josta
yeah.
show.
You said it was really good.
The Josta show is really good.
I didn't know Jamie Josta put on the Milwaukee.
He's
Metal
got a
Fest.
podcast,
he
bro.
purchased.
Yeah.
He recently purchased like the rights to do it.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines, because I know the guy who used to do it years ago, and he's kind of salty.
okay.
I
took it over.
I think he's
Always salty now because Josta's got.
Josh
He's
is
got
gonna
pull, man.
Yeah, exactly. And Wood was telling Dan that he's gonna tell Josta to put us on next.
Bro, not
year,
to toot
so.
your horn. I guarantee
You should be, bro.
Well, I mean,
dude
like
knows about-
essentially,
I bet bands
all
I've
of our
never heard
friends,
of.
all of our friends that are in Wisconsin, they all played.
Just wait. This motherfucker's gonna have Jamie Josta's number in his fucking phone. They're gonna be fucking friends,
hope
talking
so.
death metal and shit.
so.
I'm like, dude, how fucking cool is
We'll
that?
do a Josta cast.
I mean,
right?
I'd be
He's gonna
fine
laugh
if
through.
it's if my only friend from that level of people is Sherwood, because he's just the best dude you've ever met in your life.
Yeah.
And when we were in Denver, I mean, I would have people pull me aside and be like, "You fucking understand? This motherfucker brought you guys across the country to do this. You know how fucking
Yeah,
cool
play a
that is?"
barbecue.
Yeah, to come play his barbecue.
I was going to ask you though, is he sponsored by Weber Grills? Is he?
No,
Okay.
not at
Sure?
all. No, he does own a really cool company that he like refurbishes old trucks and builds trailers and shit. He also
That's work right there.
He's also like he sets up concerts in big arenas and stuff. Like
Nice.
brings shit for the show, delivers PAs and stuff. So he just fucking knows. He's like in that.
If your niche is like music and you find your way, you're like, you know what? I'm gonna make a living off this somehow, no matter what.
That's the best way. Like, I do not agree that like striving to make, especially if you play in a band like us, like a death metal band, extreme band. yeah, you can get to a level where you're making money, but I'm not going to assume that a band like Frozen Soul, who's only blown up in the past 4 years, I'm not going to assume that they are making a living necessarily, but still, like, it's like, I wouldn't want to rely on it. If I was going to have a job with music, it would be, like you were saying, something within the industry. And most people that I know that are doing a lot in music, like they're touring all the time, they have a job that is closely related to that.
Right.
Like my friend Alex in Ancient Entities, he is a like a concert tech. I don't know what you call it. Like a but he helped set up Rammstein.
Okay.
He fucking helped. He was telling me. So I was talking to him on tour, and that's right. I told you about it. He set up Rammstein and he set up Taylor Swift.
Yeah, we were talking.
Holy fuck!
And he said, I thought Taylor Swift was going to be the biggest show I ever put together because Rammstein had 80 semis.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
80 semi-trailers
Filled with women.
filled. But yeah, so it's like he
They're
goes,
always
hard.
and
They're
it's
always
only
semi-hard.
they're both Swift and Rammstein were pretty close. I think Taylor Swift was like 60 or 70 trucks.
That's
and then
still
Rammstein was
crazy,
like 20 more.
That's fucking insane, bro.
Taylor Swift, you ain't got shit.
Fuck
you,
Fucking step up
Rammstein.
your game.
Swift,
Fuck around.
I actually, speaking of Rammstein, I saw a video of them recently from 1997.
Nice.
And wow.
Yeah.
The shit they were doing then was cool, but like the difference between 25 years ago and like today, the shit they're doing, fucking ungodly.
So their guitar
dude,
player,
it's fucking nuts.
I forget his name. I don't know how to say it, but he's been like kind of the production guru for him.
Yeah, it's the
Like,
guitar player and
he's
the
basically
keyboardist.
He's like they're like both mixing and mastering gurus. They can do everything. And if you have somebody like that in your band, you're gonna go at least to the Rust Belt.
I was talking to Blake and Wyvern. They were one of the bands that played. If you haven't seen Wyvern in town, definitely should. They're cool. But I was talking to Blake and Wyvern, and he was saying he's the one that does the recording, and he has a studio. And I was like, dude, that you have no idea. I'm sure he does have an idea, but I was like, that is such an indispensable resource to have as a band.
It is.
It saves us $20,000.
The modern musician has to be like good at like 5 different things.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
To bring to the table.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how it is with pro wrestling because
I would argue it's close to the same. I would argue it's the same.
Pro wrestling,
This is where
you rely on yourself. Though,
it is
good,
you,
right?
but like at the same time, when you like, especially when I'm working for AEW, like Danny looks at me as like, hey, I need you to be like one of the guys to walk around and kind of help out.
See,
sometimes.
here's what I was just gonna say is to me, thinking about it over the years, pro wrestlers are the in-between of stand-up comedians and musicians.
Yes.
Where majority of your career is selling yourself.
Yes.
But you have to be a team
player
and it always becomes a team effort. The performance is a team effort, but you're selling yourself as an individual. And that's
nailed it.
It's the in-between. Whereas a comedian, you only have to worry about yourself most of the time. And musicians it's a team, but you have to, it helps to be able to do things. And it only ends up being 1 or 2 people in a band of 4 or 5 people that are doing all the stuff. With me and Dan, it's 100% the band because he does all the production.
Yeah.
I do a lot of the PR and graphic stuff. And he's
you have
actually
to
helped me a
divide.
lot. He's helped me out a lot lately, the last few months, because we've had so much shit to do.
He's a Dan of all trades.
Man fucking does a lot.
Yeah, he does. Fucking A.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I would argue
He won't do this fucking podcast though. It's way below him. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks for helping us.
Love you, bro.
I don't know how much he likes.
Damn, I would have got at least 2
Dan
more.
doesn't
Like,
Podcasts are probably not. They're not fun for a lot of people.
Well, Dan doesn't like to ramble, right?
No,
like,
'cause
Dan will answer a question with 1 or 2 words, and
they're
that's
hilarious.
satisfied.
He just hits the fucking note.
I'll get him to ramble. Get on the fucking show. I'll get him to ramble. I'll give you some
like-
old school whiskey. I don't give a fuck.
He always, when we first started doing it, he'd always be like, that's like that's like really good for you because you like to talk. And I'm like, yeah, it is. I mean, I agree.
Dan has his like liner notes of like hitting those fucking like points of like, here's the joke, bam, I hit you with it.
Yeah, he's got them tags.
And it's clever. It's very clever. He's like, he's bam, got you.
See, that's why it kind of goes into why I don't like to meet people like Dan was all about meeting.
Dude.
No, I mean like people. I mean,
I don't want to meet nobody.
Dude.
I mean people, not like anybody.
I thought you were talking about your pit lord meet and greets.
Like Dan was all about meeting Dave Vincent when we played FTA last, and he got to, and of course it was exactly what anybody would assume. Dave Vincent did not give a fuck, you know. But it was still, it still sounds like it was a fine exchange. But you know, what is Dave? With me, I'm going to be nervous and I'm going to say something and then I'm going to try and get myself out of what I said and I'm going to say something embarrassing. So I have to be prepared. You know, I can't just walk up to somebody a lot of times. Even in the last 5 years, I've embarrassed myself trying to talk to people. Like,
I get it.
I'd be like, I'd be standing there with my wife. I'd be like, I have to go talk to that guy. I'll be right back. And I go over there. I'm like, and I just walk away. You know, like,
performing almost 20 years and still like,
and it's fucking whatever, man. I mean,
but it happens, dude. Yeah. I didn't like walking up to Ric Flair. I was like, I don't even know what the fuck to say to you. You are a fucking icon.
Exactly.
Will it make?
I've been there too. With Ric Flair.
The thing that I consider now, especially, that's a really good example, because if I were in that position, my thought would be, what the fuck difference would it make to me or him if I were to come up and say hi? He's heard that every single fucking day of his life.
Yeah, all the time.
For the last 500 years.
It's an honor to meet you, sir.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, yeah, nice meeting you too, kid. And I'm like,
yeah. When we were at FTA, I talked to Harley from Cro-Mags.
Oh, shit.
Cro-Mags was fucking sick. I don't know anything about them, and everybody's like, they were kind of shitty. I was like, I had the most fun watching Cro-Mags that whole weekend.
Yeah.
Of the big bands, but he happened to be walking in front of me, and the man is shorter than me.
Holy fuck, is that possible?
By like a lot.
That's like, he's getting disability from the government. Poor kid. He's a poor kid. Disability from the government, bro.
Well, listen, I should say he got his legs cut off in Nam.
Oh my
God. He's not that much shorter.
He's gotta be considered a fucking small person,
dude,
right?
Listen, he was walking in front of me and I could see over his head.
Wow.
I mean, so it's just enough.
Yeah.
And so I kind of
the whole sky.
I jogged up behind him. I jogged up behind him next to him and I was like, hey man, I've never seen you guys. I don't know anything about you guys really, but that was like my favorite thing I've seen in a long time. He's like, they're glad you enjoyed it. And he just
Cro-Mags is like old school, like hardcore, right?
Yeah.
Like the original hardcore.
Yes.
Yeah, they like kind of like
they were amongst
wave.
the first for sure. But I think, and then like a couple of days later, that same guy got in like a huge fight. Like him and his son got jumped by somebody at a show, and they
what the fuck?
They had like razor blades and like hats. What? You know?
Oh, like this thing?
Yeah. Like some shit like that.
Turtle hatted.
Well, I mean, apparently that guy's gotten into he's been stabbed before. Those guys all got into some shit.
Oh, like those original hardcore guys were like, they were kind of like
fucking wild.
Let's just say they were looking for it.
They were kind of into that. They were, a lot of them were homeless.
Oh, yeah.
Or like squatting. I mean, the American Hardcore documentary is still one of the coolest things ever.
That's how I knew about that name instantly. Like as soon as you said it.
I just watched a video of Dave Mustaine saying, hey, back in the day, you gotta find somebody rich, or you find a fat chick that can feed you.
Oh my God, that's definitely
viral.
That is definitely like a pro wrestling thing as well. Like there are like fucking so many times where people are like, so how'd you make it through? And I look over at somebody, I'm like, we're living at home, or you found a certain person.
Don't watch Netflix Baby Reindeer.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
Don't watch it.
What is
It's
that?
about a stalker.
Oh, okay.
It's not just about that.
Like
It is
Love Knife
fucking
material?
Crazy. It's
Like-
Love Knife material to the 8th degree, and every time you fucking watch it, you're just getting anxiety more than even watching like fucking Jason or any of that shit. Because you're just like, oh, this could happen to me.
It's a movie.
You could get a fucking crazy fat bitch.
I've had that
loves you.
conversation about how like, oh, how do you watch horror movies? I'm like, they're not real. And then you watch somebody's like, well, I don't watch horror movies, but I watch true crime. I'm like, that's fucking way worse. That's real.
Yeah,
it's fucking real.
Yeah, I do watch
Weird
that too.
disconnect.
It doesn't make no sense.
Like,
Oh my
and you're
God.
sitting there going, "Ooh, I wonder." And it's like nobody knows. This baby got its face cut off, and they still haven't found the guy. And everybody's like, "Yeah, I can't wait to listen to that next episode." Like,
And then you're sitting there like, you fell asleep to this? Fuck, I'm waiting to see if they find this motherfucker.
I was just saying because I saw the trailer, the newest trailer for the new Alien movie coming out, which
Dude,
looks fun.
right?
Was it Romulus?
Fucking-
I am not
Dude,
ready. No,
you're
I'm not. I'm not ready because that's the director that did like the new Evil Dead.
Oh, yeah.
And I know it's gonna be brutal.
Oh, it's gonna fuck
and
you
I'm
up.
Not
Yeah.
prepared.
Just
I
gonna
don't
fucking
like gore.
scary.
I
like
It's gonna be
horror.
scary.
Listen, I'm not anti-horror. I like
But,
horror
like-
movies. I just don't like gore.
It's like he's gonna sneak in like really good fucking like I'm not fucking ready for this
Yeah,
kind of
man.
fucking
No,
like
I'm
jump
gonna-
stuff too.
Yeah.
And he's like gonna fuck you up. Because first off, we've already talking about
Can
like
you guys
in
answer me
space.
this? Is that like connected to any of the, or they're just like a
It's
new
in
story?
between the first and the second movie.
Okay, so it's
where it
explaining
falls.
maybe the
I doubt
planet
it.
that they found.
I doubt.
I
it.
doubt
I doubt
it,
there's
yeah.
any new information. It's
Is
just
Newt
it's-
gonna be in it?
Newt
Like,
is-
Wait,
at
it has
this
a
point-
little girl that gets left there, right?
I would think.
Yeah.
No,
They have a main bitch in it, right?
I guess we'll find out, but I doubt there's going to be much connection like into the main.
We all
the
thought
Ripley
that Prometheus
storyline.
was going to have a lot more connection as well, and you're still left with like, was that the same place or not?
I still just think Ridley Scott put his head in the microwave for that one. I like it. I like Prometheus.
Me too.
Not as an
Yeah.
alien movie, like
But,
a
like,
sane
just as a
version.
Just as a
movie.
movie.
It's a
Yeah,
fun
you're
movie.
like, well, this is an
looks-
alien.
One of those movies that looks fantastic on Blu-ray, where you're like,
Oh, yeah.
this is
Just
the
looks-
kind of
it
movie
looks
to
so
watch
good.
on Blu-ray. It's
That
like,
alien
what's
was
his
fucking
name?
Jack. He was on
what's
all the roids.
The fucking actor.
the guy that played the android.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is his fucking
I
name?
can't remember. Either.
He's Magneto in like the
Yes.
latest X
Is it
Men,
like
and he was
Christoph
so
or something
fucking
like that?
He was in
good, bro.
Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah.
Yes,
He was
yes.
the Nazi. Yeah.
Dude, that guy is fucking fantastic actor.
On a similar note, I went and saw, me and my old man went and saw The Ministry of Ungentlemanly
Oh, I
Warfare.
hear that's fucking awesome.
I've heard good
dude,
things.
so brutal.
I've heard nothing but good things.
Some of the most funniest brutality. Where it's like there's that dude in it that's jacked, that jacked fucking Finnish guy. It's the guy that plays Jack Reacher now.
Oh yeah, that dude
yeah.
just fucking always walking around
Dude,
jacked as fuck.
he's like bigger than Chris Hemsworth was in the first Thor.
He's
fucking huge.
straight up walking around like
He's on a-
And
massive.
he plays a Finnish guy who only uses a Bowie knife. And at some point, he's killing all these guys with a bow and arrow, and he has to keep using the same arrow. So he's like, at close quarters and grabs it out and then stabs the guy with it, and he keeps doing this so this arrow is like worn down to like a nub. And then he looks over and there's just this fire axe on the wall, and he's just like. And it's so good. And that's one of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
And that guy's been through some shit. Like apparently, when he first broke into the biz, like same whole like, oh well, you want to get in here, you get fucked.
Oh,
like
yeah.
kind of
Baby
thing.
Reindeer.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wink, 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 wink.
I was listening
What
to
you just said. Watch Baby Reindeer.
Oh, that's
That
what
was
that's about, dude.
uncomfortable. No, dude, there's just
That's
so much
probably not
fast-
at all.
No,
That's
it
probably
is.
completely
It's a
irrelevant.
part of it to where you're like, oh God, what am I watching?
Well, like,
Holy
it's-
fuck.
here's the
Netflix
thing.
Put on some great old rape.
but like,
Good job, bud.
they always sneak in weird shit in any movie or any show, like The Boys sneaking in like how they fucking sneak in like, oh, you're a fucking hero, but real life you're the biggest sack of shit human being that you could be ever.
Yeah.
And these are these celebrities that everybody fucking loves. I'm like, oh yeah. But nobody sees the real picture because this is who it really is, and this is the way the world really works. But like,
Right.
yeah, let's just make it into a fucking show.
Yeah,
Agreed.
well, it's weird because like I love Casino, I watch Casino once a year. And I love Robert De Niro, but he's such a piece of shit in real life.
I've heard that.
He's such a fucking
I've heard that,
8-year-old
dude.
man that has like a newborn baby. He's just always.
Jesus.
I mean, which that's whatever. That's not saying he's.
Well,
bad
we just
because of
spread that
but-
seed, baby. It's
We're
forever.
populated, so he's right.
Yeah,
We are.
but he's like.
We don't have a population growth
He's
at all,
just,
guys.
he's just
so.
a fucking.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah.
He's just like a hard left-leaning like dork. Like he's always going to like rally, which whatever. I'm fine with that too. But I'm just saying he's just a dork. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not like.
Didn't you fucking make out with a bitch in Cape Fear, you bitch?
Yeah.
Dude,
Like
dude,
a young...
I just
Hang on.
found that on VHS.
hang on.
Oh, really?
Speaking of, I was hanging out with the wrestlers and the boys last night, and we all love fucking movies and horror movies and shit like that, or just badass action movies. They are making a prequel/sequel to Heat.
Oh.
And like the guy who played Elvis, I always forget his name in the latest movie,
know who you're
Austin
talking about.
Butler,
Yeah.
is gonna play Val Kilmer's character.
That's cool.
Oh, dude, and they're like layering all these badass people who are gonna play these people, and I'm like, dude, Heat was fucking.
I need to watch
awesome,
it again.
bro.
I haven't seen Heat in so many
Oh,
years.
it's been a long
He
time.
was really good, especially when they're the chase scene. You know
Oh,
what I'm
dude,
talking about.
seriously, fucking
Yeah.
one of
Pretty
the
much the
best.
end of the movie.
One of the
Wait,
best.
I mean, you know those guys that did that you remember that North Hollywood shootout that happened? Like those dudes
Oh,
robbed
yeah.
that bank. All that shit that they did, they pulled from Heat.
Okay.
Like they had watches
Holy
sewn.
fuck,
They had watches
seriously?
sewn into their shirt sleeves.
Yep.
They had body armor on. There's all shit they got from Heat.
Just like...
holy fuck!
Didn't work out.
No,
Sorry.
it didn't work out. Well, kind of almost.
They
I mean,
tried.
almost. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if they would have put more, it's like we're only going to look at this movie and not do extra.
No,
Yeah.
just don't do that shit in California. Do it in fucking Iowa.
Right? Can you imagine that?
They
Fucking
literally would have got away with so much
all the
money if
guys
they
from
would've fucking
Point Break,
done that.
like, hey, the little hand says it's time to rock and roll, and you rob a fucking bank in 90 fucking seconds. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right. Jeez, Louise.
Yeah, man.
I will say, though, honestly, because we're talking about movies, I finally got to watch a movie last night with Alicia because we're busy with having a family.
Yeah.
And it was Godzilla -1.
I have not watched it yet, but my son,
Pretty dope.
I've heard nothing but good things.
Dope. I
Yeah.
mean, there's some gripes, I suppose, because, like, again, I don't know, like,
There's kind of
sometimes the CGI, and the Godzilla kind of.
I think that's all fine. There's just kind of a middle point that's kind of boring.
Yeah, and I don't want
But-
to give too much away.
No,
But
it's-
what I want to say though is I really liked that it reminded me of when I was a kid. And I
When we
was
were
watching
kids, yeah.
Japanese Godzilla,
dude,
and they stuck
right?
to that.
Yeah.
you know?
They
and they did a little bit more of the human element that I like that I didn't like when I was a kid because I was like, shut up, I just want to see Godzilla.
to be fair,
pretty much,
but I'm
yeah.
not a kid anymore, so I do want a fucking storyline. I get it.
To be fair, having seen a lot of those ones, from back in the day, there wasn't ever. I can't think of a time where a human storyline mattered to me.
Yeah,
And this
right,
one
right,
does,
right.
Yeah.
because they tie it into how much. Because it made sense because the past year, I've just been like into a lot more like World War II stuff.
Yep.
Specifically reading about the Nazi side of things.
Oh,
Very interesting.
Super interesting.
I mean-
the occult.
Yeah, it's crazy the way that shit. But like, the way the Japanese suffered all through the war.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I mean, because their government was just lying to them the whole time
Yep.
about what was happening.
Well,
And like,
their
they
emperor-
worked that
their-
into
their
the
emperor
story.
is God.
Yes.
So
And
they're serving God.
they worked that into the story so well in that movie.
Yes.
And there's so much weight to it where you're like, oh, like it's been
Well,
phenomenal.
it's just
So
mainly
good.
confusion on their part.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I was a kamikaze, you
Yeah.
know, and I'm not giving too much away.
Well,
but
how many
basically
times
he was
has
a
it happened in society in general? Think about the fact that like Nazis they didn't know that they were doing something wrong for the most part. A lot of them didn't. They had no fucking clue.
Yeah, it's like so. I've been reading a book. I've been reading a book the last couple of weeks about Hitler's inner circle and where all those guys came from and what they did, and it's really like
They have a good Netflix documentary, literally called Hitler's Inner Circle. So check it out.
It's a real thing.
That's-
Okay.
World War I fucked up Germany so bad, and they got hit.
Austro-Hungarian Empire.
They
basically
got
collapsed.
hit with such insane like reparations they needed to pay back, and the economy just collapsed over and over and over again. It'd get better for a little bit, and then it'd fall apart again to where they had inflation where like the Reich mark was like $1 million to the dollar.
Right.
Holy
Like
fuck.
they had money that was worthless. And like the Nazis just worked their way up over years, over like a 10 or 15
National
year
Socialist
period. Yeah.
Party.
That's nationals. That's what Nazi's short for.
Right.
National Socialist.
But that's what they call themselves. Yeah.
They were actually originally the Social Democrats, ironically enough, but they split away from that. Anyways,
Hitler almost got his ass killed during that part.
A bunch of them did, yeah. Like Hermann Goering, one of the top four, got his fucking like one of his balls basically blown off during like a street battle.
Fuck,
dude, that's crazy. But like, anyways, all back to -1.
And by the way, they loved it.
-1
because they loved pain. And most of the Nazis did sword fighting, and they loved to have like fucking slices on their face.
They
and
like,
shit.
yeah, there
It
was
was a badge of honor. If somebody got in your face.
I would
called
argue that
scarification.
Yeah.
I would argue that from what I've read, I know that like he that was actually not great for him, and he ended up with like a morphine addiction because of it.
Oh, fuck.
100%. I mean,
And
fuck.
yeah, but anyways, like Godzilla -1, super good.
Government tricking you. Basically.
It only helps if the more you know about World War II, it like even fuels how fuels the story for that movie. It's good. Who would have thought? Who would have thought a Godzilla movie would have had such weight?
Well, that's because
and again,
it wasn't written by fucking Americans with that one, right? Or was it?
So.
I mean, I think no, that's Toho.
Okay, thought so.
It's the director that did it is a big director right now in Japan. Like he's apparently supposed to do another one.
Are you saying like there's no woke? Like,
No, I'm just saying like America. Yeah, no, that is a fucking thing too.
Right.
But like, it wasn't like, oh, we're gonna like blind you of some bullshit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, like an American film now, they want to appeal to
everyone,
as many people as they can.
Everyone.
So you get lost in the weeds there trying to, make a fun movie.
Which, all right, so let's just bring this up for a second. Sorry. In the 80s, we all knew that if you were a gay man, you were hiding it for the most part, right? Because that was a thing. But in any time they watch a show that's based in the 80s, all these people are like up front and like blatantly gay. That was you were scared to do that, and you could have played that gimmick, right? But yet they put it right in your face. It's like not a bad thing, but it's like that's not how it was. I watched plenty of documentaries about the 80s and actors, like especially one called The Scream Queen of the guy from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. And like how like how he thought his whole career was destroyed because of the way the movie was wrote. But again, he was a gay man, and they were all trying to hide it because of the 80s and then the AIDS epidemic and everything like that.
A movie like Philadelphia would not have had the weight
for that.
today. Wouldn't have had the kind of weight today. Maybe it probably would have, but like it was very poignant in 1993.
Yes.
Like to build off what you were saying, I saw a really funny meme this morning, and it said people don't dislike JoJo Siwa now because she has two girls kissing in her video. 10 years ago, that would have been a big deal. Now we just don't like her because she's annoying.
Yes. Yeah, dude. It's like I was talking. It's not like I'm not mad about it.
In the 80s is the horror picture show. What was the guy? He was gay. It was a huge thing. Oh man.
Horror picture show.
Oh, Tim Curry.
Yeah. And he was
but Tim Curry actually gay in real life?
He was actually gay.
But he played bisexual.
He was a transgender.
That too, yes.
Yeah. And everybody thought, and at the time, they watched it, they thought it was art, but they also laughed. Okay?
Right.
So, you can't do that anymore. You can't laugh at anybody.
The thing is, I don't know
if it was people laughed about it.
I don't think they did. There was probably more people offended by that at that time.
I mean, it was off the wall crazy.
Because it's the opposite of now, where if you don't have that in a show, they're offended that you didn't somehow put it in that show. Yeah. And that's what it's coming down to is, especially in the 80s, think about this. They didn't people, like I said, like Rob Halford creating the whole metal fucking look because he was like, I'm gonna put it out here of who I am without saying who I am.
Yeah, which I love. I love it that that's where it came from.
Yes, dude. I said that to somebody. I was like, pro wrestling super gay. Metal started off super gay. The whole look is so gay, and I fucking love it to this day. I don't give a shit.
That's still a conspiracy theory that he's actually not gay.
Get the fuck. You shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Anyways, that motherfucker's created the Carlton dance and fucking Turbo Lover. We know what that's about.
Turbo Lover or like Ram It Down.
Yeah, Ram It Down. Turbo Lover. Gay. You know what? Who gives a shit? I love all those fucking albums. I don't care what he's talking about.
Ram It Down. People didn't know Elton John was gay.
That too.
Liberace before that.
Yeah.
Well, people just, you had people that didn't notice, you had people that didn't want to notice. And
or they refused. They refused it, right? And so my dad, if we would have known like Rob Halford, like he said to this day, well, if my dad was still alive, the best concert he ever went to was like this big giant fucking arm came down and Rob Halford rode out in a fucking Harley on stage. I was like, dude, that's fucking rad. Like...
That's why I did whenever fucking Phil used to shit on bands that did that. We don't have fucking dragons coming out of the PA. Like, I always
way more drunk than you've ever been.
Yeah, no, that's true. But like, and I'd hear him say that, I'd be like, that's awesome for Pantera, but man, that shit is cool.
It is cool as fuck, dude.
Cool.
Like the fact that I had that visual when I was 8 years old.
Pantera had production.
Oh, they did.
Look at their Revolution. They're reinventing the Steel tour. It's fucking just this massive Pantera with fucking flames and all that.
Yeah, they
shit.
did plenty.
And now, even with their new, there's probably less than a Taylor Swift, but they're like literally they got fucking flames. They got all sorts of shit.
But to rewind back where we were is like that. It's not. I don't mind it, okay? Because it is a real thing. There were people who felt out of place, but it wasn't up front. You know what I mean? Like they feel like they have to put it in absolutely everything. But like the element of like being hidden is what it was. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I can understand, and that's why people want to be like represented. Because.
Right.
30 years ago,
I totally
you weren't
understand.
Allowed to be. You weren't allowed to be.
But like, I think like Stranger Things is kind of doing the like whole secret thing of Will, the one who was abducted in the first season, and then like he's totally in love with Mike, his best friend. But like they're he's hiding it in a way, but not like blatantly saying it. But like they're kind of like putting all of this in everything, like everything we watch.
Oh, okay. You're talking about Hollywood.
Yes, okay. Hollywood in general.
Yeah. And again, I get what you're saying, but I will say this too. There are, like Lyndon just said, there are people that are writing original stuff.
Yes.
And somehow it's getting pushed through. I think like a lot of it isn't. I bet you there are artists right now that are very frustrated that they wrote something really awesome and then someone just said, oh, by the way, that's cool, but we're not going to do this.
Or you have to add this, and this.
I guess
you have to add it.
The entire storyline's done.
Yeah.
You know
or you have to add shit to like in the long run kind of like water down your story because you're not playing to everybody's aspect.
I mean, that's really how things have been. I mean, because really what you're talking about specifically is trying to give somebody a script or like pitch something.
Yes, like a story, like a fucking.
It's been like that forever.
100%.
It's only getting worse though. Yeah. Like think about the fact of like trying to
especially with podcasts. I think if people are saying what they want to say,
finally,
they're saying those words that get you canceled, and they're becoming men again.
Well, it's not just a man thing. It's just fucking.
My next album's called Manospheres and Fucking Madness, and I'm done because I'm a fucking man and I say stuff. So the point is like a lot of people again, they will disagree with that and whatever. But by the way, they're a minority. It's just because of the internet, the thing that we're
everybody has a fucking voice now.
Everybody has a voice.
It doesn't matter who you are, even if you're a nobody.
Yeah, it's just the loud majority. Because of the loud minority.
I don't want to say politics because we don't get into it.
But
politics do sway that.
All it takes is one person to stand against anything you've said, and that one person somehow is just broaden the scheme of things to like at least 25 other people that are now like pissed off at the one fucking thing you said, and then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and
well,
bigger.
I'm really mad because you beat up a woman apparently this last weekend.
Well, hey, in a working fashion. In a working fashion, okay?
You're really
by the way,
Hey, I would say Andy Kaufman did it in like the 80s.
And you know what? It was over as fuck. He had the most fucking heat. People wanted to watch him get his ass kicked.
Jerry Lawler.
Amazing.
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Dude, have you ever watched any of those promos, dude?
Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
It's amazing.
Oh my god,
Man, and I like what Pitlord was doing. Where you guys were making fun of other bands and just sending them videos and shit.
Oh, dude, that's fantastic.
We need to do that more.
So that
Cut
is
promos
cool,
on bands.
Man.
we need to
pro wrestling.
We need to do more.
Music,
we need to
Fuck
do
yeah,
more
it is.
promos like that.
Yeah.
We haven't.
Like,
in a while.
What was the one? I
guys
just
were
watched the
killing
video
it.
where like somebody tried to sneak in a fucked up question on like Dan, and he just had the like boom bullet answers.
Oh yeah, when we did that interview with Frontal Assault at for the Iowa Fest, and yeah, fucking they'd asked him what his favorite position was.
Oh, he says like whatever one she gets on top.
Yeah, something.
Something
was
like
funny.
that.
Like, God, that was fun.
He had it in the chamber. Like he was it was quick too. It wasn't like he was like, oh, I had to think about it for a second. And it was like the question was asked, and it was like 2 seconds.
He really
bam,
tried.
and he just fucking hits you with
the
it.
funny thing is about that is all the other questions they asked him, he was like, I don't know. He was like, I wanted to be like, dude, you knew we were going to do an interview. Like, charge your brain up. But he hit that one. There's another one he answered really good. They didn't put in,
They're like
in the
Cookies
cut.
or McCormick. He's like, I don't know.
Well, I think they asked us both each question and just kind of like cut in the best one, of the two. It was
Right.
funny.
Also, possibly you were asked that question first, so he had time to think.
They asked me, and I said, well, I was raised a Christian, so missionary. But really, I just like that because I'm not a sexual freak of any kind.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Boring.
You're not a
Pretty
super
boring.
freak.
No,
super freak. You're super
Nope.
freaking.
Nope, that's has never been like that.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Honestly, back in the day, if I was getting laid, I was just happy to be getting laid.
Yes.
Okay, now I gotta flip you over.
Guys, I've seen it.
Doing any kind of that.
I know what he's talking. I've actually seen it.
You're the only one.
Yeah. Just walk into his bedroom without knocking, you piece of
I just
shit.
heard him.
I paid rent too.
I'm having sex. Literally having sex, and I hear Logan.
I'm literally fucking.
I hear Logan go. Logan's like in the crack of my door with a drink, like, yeah, buddy. I was like, I'm literally fucking right now.
He was in the crack of that crack.
Dude, what a fucking dude. Whatever, man. We've lived a crazy fucking
I'm gonna
life.
say this: 50 episodes. We're at the hour mark. I'm gonna say, man, I'm just proud of you guys for fucking doing all the shit you do. I can't believe you do all the shit you do, to be honest with you, because a lot is against you.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, it really is.
A lot is
It
against
is.
you.
I mean-
for being yourselves. You have an interview here or whatever, blah, blah, blah. 60 years from now, I hope they look back and say, well, those fucking guys were fucking men.
Dude.
And they did what they fucking wanted to do. And, hey, men are being attacked, right?
Well,
that is not even a joke.
I don't know.
Saying
I don't
political.
think-
Well,
think so.
not-
Being a
I don't know
man,
about
what
I don't know
does
about the
that mean?
attack
That
thing.
means that Pitlord does what the fuck Pitlord
Well,
wants
yeah.
to do.
They're
Shug
always
does
gonna do
what
that.
the fuck Shug
Yeah,
does do.
that's
and,
always-
and no, but there's people that are out there, that keyboard warrior, that's going to be like, oh my god, they're talking about Beelzebub.
I'm sure there's one fan who watched me wrestle with Heather last night. It was like, what a piece of shit. But guess what? If you ask Jamie as a human being when she walked out of that match, she goes, I felt nothing. Everything was great. I never fucking wrongfully hurt her in any way possible. I'm sure she's been hit in the fucking jaw by other women unsafely.
I think with that, you have wrestling fans, a small percentage of wrestling fans that tend to ignore the fact that none of it's real.
Yeah.
Like real.
Right.
I use that carefully, but there are some people that push that out of their mind.
Oh, yeah. Totally disbelief. That's the whole point.
Yeah, and I get it. That's cool. That's strong will
Because
of you.
realistically, if me and Jamie went in a fight,
Yeah.
I'm almost 200 pounds.
On a cross.
I'm almost 200 pounds. She's like fucking, 5'2".
For us, as a
what
band,
I'm saying is, Sandman got crucified on a cross in ECW.
Oh, dude.
Sorry, Raven.
No, yeah,
Was it
it
Raven
was
or
Sandman.
Sandman? I'm fucked
And
up.
like Kurt Angle was in the back.
Yeah.
And like threatened to sue the entire company.
The crowd was like, what the fuck are we watching?
Yeah.
And these are like the most brutal fans ever. They're like, okay.
Yeah. And then Raven had to go out there publicly
and
on microphone and apologize.
To the fans.
And
That came
apologize.
every fucking night.
I guess it does happen with any art form at some point. Somebody goes to a length, and even the target audience goes,
Ooh, yeah.
I think that's awesome. And
I fucking think it's cool.
And
then
if you
later
were the guy that did that, you forever get to say you were the guy that did that.
And then later on, they basically WWE stole it, but they used Undertaker's
Ministry of Darkness
fucking thing behind him.
Now, here's my question.
Yeah.
Did he come back for a match after 3 days?
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, did they work that in?
Sandman?
Yeah, did they work that in?
No.
Came back?
I'm sure he wrestled. He wrestled a week later, at least.
Man. Came out and go, I'm literally God.
Like,
Which was
with
fucking
us as a band, I feel as long as I don't, because we've never had anybody shit on us. The most shit people have talked to us is like just like a handful of months ago. I posted a video of us practicing. And it was just a 20-second clip of me.
Hey, you're gonna have to like do the end without me. Like there are people like, hey, we're outside. Like where are you at?
Okay.
Like call me 13 minutes ago.
I'll save that story for
good.
later.
Whoops.
It's all right.
It's all good.
We can call it.
We'll call it.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead, brothers. I'm going to say this just real quick. Obviously, again, it's not going to be real quick. But, hey, 50th episode. It's phenomenal that we've got this freaking far. And I want to say, too, that, like, just listen to Titanium Utopia. Don't listen to Pit Lord. Don't listen to Derek's band, Xeno's band, whatever band, Dark Rift. Don't listen to that. Listen to Titanium Utopia. There's one song that is just way better than everything you've ever heard, and I think you'll believe that.
You can hear it on the feeding playlist.
By the way, that's Spotify. Where I get my one listener.
Yeah, it's me by accident sometimes. Wayne knocked the camera, or Shane knocked the camera over, so it's like,
we're looking at the sky.
Yeah. Anyways, cool.
I'll tell you guys. Check out obviously Pit Lord. Check out everybody else. Check out Shug. Check out Titanium Utopia. Check out fucking Xenospawn. And I'm just glad that any of you guys, the 60 of you that keep watching, I don't even think I know 60 people anymore. Thank you. And I want to continue to do this. We're going to be more consistent because we're back.
I was going to put some people over.
Go ahead, brother.
Listen to, first of all, go to the Pit Lord Facebook. And if you want tickets for the Iowa Underground Metal Fest, you can just message us and we'll mail you one. They're $20 a piece. Same thing for the Drowning Pool. Also, listen to Frontal Assault, listen to False Providence, listen to Ill Omen, listen to Wyvern. Go to listen to Ancient Entities, listen to Toxic Ruin. Go to our playlist, The Feeding, on Spotify, and all that stuff is on there, and you can find all those bands. But definitely August 3rd, Iowa Underground Metal Fest.
Fuck yeah.
Yep.
Thanks for like and subscribe, and thanks for fucking being around. You guys are awesome, and I can't wait to make 50 more. Peace.